Now, as an ex-Karizma owner, I had really been looking forward to seeing the new Karizma in flesh and of course riding the bike. Hero sent me the motorcycle for a week. I've done over 300 kilometers in a variety of situations, and I think I'm in a position to give you my opinion, my verdict, a genuine feedback experience of the bike. This is going to be a detailed video because I want to touch upon various parameters that you want to know about the new Karizma. So I urge you to stay with me for the entire video, but you can of course jump to a particular section by the timeline you see on the screen. However, again, as a biker, I request you to stay with me for the entire video. I really want to speak about a lot of things about the new Karizma to you, and let's start right away. The first parameter is very apparent, something that people want to know. The original Karizma was well known to be a touring motorcycle, to be a mile munching machine, and I've done that extensively on my older bike, including Ladakh and including Punia to Delhi and so on. So does the new Karizma also do that? That is the big question. Well, I rode the bike a lot during a mileage run. I've done highway touring, I've done open city road touring, I went to the expressway as well, and in a nutshell, it's almost there. As a touring bike, it's almost there. Why do I say so? Well, first of all, in the same price segment, plus minus 10,000 rupees, you do have a lot of options in the market. Way back when the Karizma was there, that was the only option for touring, and that's why automatically that was the choice for people. So today you have a lot of options, but even then I said it's almost there as a touring motorcycle. The only issue, and I'll start with the con first, the only issue from a touring point of view is the hard seat. It's a spacious seat, no doubt, but it's hard for touring. But then it's a solvable problem. As an owner, you can modify the seat very easily to have some extra cushion coming on. And apart from this, it can do touring. First of all, the riding position is not aggressive. There are clip-on handlebars, the foot pegs are slightly on the rear end, but when you ride the motorcycle, you are not too aggressive, and that's a huge plus point for your back and for your arms when you're riding 2-3 hours non-stop. This is the kind of position that comes in, and I think it's pretty touring friendly. Even straight up like this, you will not have any issues. If you want to just straighten up for a few minutes on open roads, you can do that. Second, a few factors that come into the picture to make it more touring friendly. For example, the visor, it is adjustable. Small switch over here, you press this and the visor can go down and up. It's not by a huge margin, but nevertheless, if you are tucking in for overtaking or hitting a higher speed to tease away cars, the extra length of the visor definitely comes into the picture. Next point, there is a cleverly located USB port over here. Again, if you have a tank bag or you have a chin mounted GoPro, you can charge your GoPro on the move. You can charge your phone, keep your phone in the pocket of your jacket. You can charge that on the move, a good plus point. Next, for touring needs, we as a rider, we want to know the average fuel economy, the instantaneous fuel economy, how quick we are going, the average speed and the range left. All that is displayed on the speedometer console. Only issue, under the sun, it is not clearly visible, this issue I had during my mileage run. Under the sun, you have to just tuck in to see the figures, but otherwise, as a rider info display, it is comprehensive. Next point from touring point of view is the engine and the gearbox combination. The gearing is tall in the 6th gear. If you're at 90 kmph for touring needs, you can expect 40 kmpl on a tankful to tankful basis. So 40 kmpl for a sporty looking motorcycle in my books is a good figure. So all these parameters combined together do make it a touring machine. Even the suspension, it is not as comfortable as the first gen Karizma, but slightly on the stiffer side, and that helps at higher speed. So first point, touring, yes. Second, and again important point in this video, the design, the looks of the motorcycle. Very important because for a lot of owners, a motorcycle is an extension of their personality. They want their bike to look as cool as the way they look as well. Youngsters, college going people, or a person in his first job, he wants to show off to his friends in the office, this one will deliver. It's not very loud, it's not overdone, it's not boring, it's not hideous as one of the versions of the ZMA that came out. It is a nicely proportionate motorcycle. Look at this. I think Hero has got it right for their flagship motorcycle. Be it the design angles, be it the sticker work, be it the paint job. I love this combination of yellow and black. Delivers where it matters the most. I've had the bike for a week. It's an eye magnet on the road. My neighbors, my friends, other bikers on the road even giving thumbs up to this bike is a big testimony to the fact that if you get this one home, when you park the bike, when you go back towards your house, you will definitely give it another second, third, fourth glance. Very important for that important biker and the owner bonding. We call this brotherhood. Yes, the bond between an owner and the motorcycle, it is very, very precious. It's special. And the design is both form and function. It looks nice and it is functional as well. For example, these DRLs, they are visible from a long distance, and the LED lights, they work very well even in the darkest of roads. Likewise, you come back over here, the grab rails, they look nice and they have enough space for the pillion to put their fingers to hold it on the move. So overall, it's work done very well by Hero MotoCorp. Even the mirrors, they are wide and they work very well. In spite of me being on the heavier side, I have wide shoulders. They give me a clear view of what's happening on the back. Even the vibrations from the mirrors are very limited. So second point, the design, the way it looks, top marks from me for the Karizma. Next point is about the engine of the Karizma. Now on paper, it's got a smaller motor as compared to the older Karizma, but just forget about that. It's 210cc, less than 223cc of the older Karizma, but it's a far more advanced, a far more powerful motor as compared to the Karizma and even the competition. It's got liquid cooling, it's got 4 valves, it's got a DOHC setup, over 25 PS of power, over 20 Nm of torque, and a 6-speed gearbox. What does this mean? In a nutshell, it is a performing machine, and in spite of the weight, it weighs over 160 kgs, which is actually more than the bigger SF250 from Suzuki, but overall performance is pretty good. I'll talk about the gearing first. It's a gearbox with well spread out ratios. It's got a slipper clutch. The clutch is not on the heavier side. The gearbox works very well. The gear shifts are smooth. I haven't had a false gear or a false neuter in the last 300 kilometers or so. Vibrations, NVH levels, well, the older Karizma was known for a smooth nature. That's not the total case over here. Especially at lower RPMs, you have vibrations coming from the side of the tank and from the foot pegs, but the faster you go, for example, touring at 90-100, the overall smooth nature of the engine is visible. Outright acceleration is definitely fast. It is faster than the main competitor which people have been comparing, the R15, of course, because no replacement for displacement. So it is quick enough, but more importantly, on a daily basis, you can potter around in traffic in the third and the fourth gear. That is where the torque comes into the picture. Example, 30 kmph, fourth gear, not an issue. 25 kmph, third gear, not an issue, and it picks up speeds pretty rapidly from lower RPM as well. So I think Hero has been testing this bike extensively. The riders have been testing the bike on open roads and on the track near Jaipur, and all that testing, all that patience has only been rewarding for the owners, for the actual rider of the motorcycle. It's got liquid cooling, and even in mild traffic conditions, the fan comes in very, very quickly, but that's a good part because it tries to keep the engine cool and tries to keep the engine in the optimum operating temperature band. So point number 3 about the engine, I'm pretty happy with the gearing, I'm happy with the poke, and it's efficient as well. There's a separate 150 kilometer long mileage run on my channel, and the figure on a time full to time full basis will definitely shock you. I'll do one thing before moving to the next point. I want you to listen to the motorcycle. Of course, it's a single cylinder setup, so don't expect wonders, but nevertheless, the mic is currently over here, so the sound will come from this point of view. I'll stand with the motorcycle. At idling, it's got that intake roar as well. I'll come this side to make you hear the exhaust as well. So on this part, you can make out the exhaust. But from the rider's perspective, when you are seated over here, you can hear that intake roar. You hear that? So from a single cylinder point of view, it is a good sounding motorcycle. And now we move to the fourth parameter. Next point, the ride and handling of the Karizma. The older Karizma was known to be a no-nonsense, comfortable setup. This one just takes it to a new level. First of all, out goes the side shock absorbers, in comes the monoshock. It is adjustable. You still don't get USD or the upside down forks, which Hero surprisingly offers on their extreme motorcycle, but not on this. Nevertheless, as compared to the soft nature of the earlier motorcycle, the ride is slightly more stiffer as compared to the Karizma, but in real world situations, it is a comfortable motorcycle. Handling, it is over 160 kgs, but the moment you start get going, it seems to shed all that weight. It becomes very manageable in traffic conditions, but short riders will have a small issue, and that is about the seat height of the motorcycle. For my height, I stand 6 feet tall. I can easily place both my feet firmly on the ground, but if you are 5'7", 5'8", you will have a slight tough time, and that is because of the seat height. This is even taller seat height as compared to the Suzuki SF250. But apart from this, don't worry about the weight on the spec sheet, because the moment you get going, it seems to be a light motorcycle. Don't get me wrong, it is a long bike. It's not a tiny or a small motorcycle as some of the competition, but it's got a substantial road presence, and at higher speeds, which I've been doing a lot in the last few days, the straight line stability is like the older Karizma. It's no nonsense, confidence inspiring machine. Small thing which I can say is that under hard braking, the front is pretty soft like the older Karizma. So under hard braking, you have this nose dive coming in, which I think can be sorted with the USD forks. I think Hero going forward can launch a premium version for the extra amount to give riders the option to opt for USDs or upside down forks. In Delhi, we don't have twisties or hills or curves, but a small set of Aravallis around Gurgaon, and even there, pushing the bike with whatever I can do as a biker, this one felt at home. Even the mid-corner bumps, which are notorious to unsettle a motorcycle, this one handled that as well. So in the rider handling department, you as a rider will be happy. The person who will not be happy is the pillion. The older Karizma was a pillion-friendly motorcycle. This one is not. Now, this is sort of a useful thing for your bum as a rider, but the extra height is not as bad as the RM5, but the extra height of the pillion seat and the small size of the pillion seat could be an issue if your better half or your girlfriend or your friend or whosoever wants to have a ride. Not the best of the seats in the business. Moving on to a section which you have been waiting for. How quick is the Karizma? Now, with my weight, I weigh over 100 kgs, I still managed to get decent timings for the 0 to 60 and the 0 to 100 run, plus the top speeds in the first few gears. Out on open roads, I've done 120 plus a couple of times, and the way it reaches those speeds is pretty easy and nice. So these figures, the acceleration and the top speeds coming your way right away. And before I end the video, a look at the features you get for your money. About the money, well, the introductory price was 1.72 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily. It's gone up slightly, but even then under 1.8 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily for a fully fed motorcycle, it's good value for money. So what all you get? Of course, you have fuel injection, you have dual channel ABS, so ABS at the front, ABS at the back. You have petal disc at the front, at the back, adjustable monoshock at the back, LED lights all around, including the LED blinkers over here, usable wide rear view mirrors, USB charging outlet, comprehensive rider info display, including the average fuel economy, the average speed, the instantaneous fuel economy, and the range left in the motorcycle. And then you have a dual seat setup for that sporty nature, split seat setup over here. You have alloy wheels, pretty wide tires, and of course a full body on offer, which people want in their motorcycles. A fade motorcycle for a lot of people looks more sportier and an eye magnet on the road. You also have these clip-on handlebars, and mind you, once again, the clip-on handlebars do not turn into an aggressive seating posture. The riding posture is definitely on the comfortable side. You also have something called as the hazard switch. If I press this, all the 4 LED blinkers, the indicators will come on. Useful if you're parked on the side of the road or in tough riding situations like foggy roads and so on. So overall, the features on offer in the motorcycle, including the slipper clutch, I forgot that, is substantial for the price and for the segment. In recent times, I have not been as happy as I am today giving a verdict on a motorcycle. Now, there are 2 parts to my verdict. The first one is this a better new modern day Karizma? Definitely, it almost does what the older Karizma was known for, and then it improves on every single parameter. It looks better, it's got better performance, it's got more features, it's safer. So overall, is it the legend that's arrived back? I think so. The only issue is that today it's a tough market out there. I told you, in the same price segment, plus minus 10,000 rupees, you have a lot of options in the segment. So as a bike, a standalone Karizma, it is wow. But with all the competition around, you do have options. That is my first part of the verdict. Is this the new Karizma? Is the Karizma is back? That's my first part. The second part, as a motorcycle, what has Hero done? I think Hero has done a job which is better than expected. This is Hero's flagship motorcycle. When you say Hero, you think about commuter motorcycles, you think about the Activa competition, you think about the Splendors of the world, you think about the new Hero Vida, you think about the Expos also to an instance. But do you think sporty nature when you say Hero? Do you think about sports bikes when you say Hero MotoCorp? Now you will. This is what Hero did a couple of decades back with the Karizma, and they have done it again. Hero MotoCorp no more stands for a 40 kmph commuter motorcycle offering you 80 kmpl average. Hero can stand for this. Hero can go global with this. Hero can fight off the Japanese and the local homegrown companies with this. This is what the new motorcycle is all about. In my opinion, in my books, is there a shortcoming? I think a hard seat is not a shortcoming. Hard seat is there in a lot of motorcycles. Is there any shortcoming? Well, if you're looking for a pure aggressive motorcycle, it might not be it. But if you're looking for a practical all-rounder machine, a machine that looks nice, rides very well, has good performance, can tour, can turn eyeballs, is value for money, this is it.